As quintessentially Indian as chai, cricket and Diwali ke patake. Something synonymous with our childhoods and every family gathering. Can you guess what it is? समय बिताने के लिए करना है कुछ काम, शुरू करो डैश लेकर प्रभु का नाम. Yes, you guessed right. It's अंताक्षरी.
ऐसा कोई माहौल हम बनाएं, कोई अंताक्षरी खेला जाए आज की.
Our favorite childhood musical game. If you've ever been on a long Indian train journey, attended a family wedding, or simply found yourself at a function where the electricity suddenly went out, chances are someone enthusiastically shouted, "Chalo Antakshari shuru kare."
अरे बैठे बैठे क्या करोगे, करना है कुछ काम, आज शुरू करो अंताक्षरी.
And before you knew it, everybody from 7-year-old Chintu to 70-year-old Ammamma and Dadaji was belting out film songs with surprising gusto. And what exactly is this game that transcends generations, and why has it become such an intrinsic part of Indian social fabric? Let's find out. For our international listeners who may not be familiar with Antakshari and who may be scratching their heads wondering, let me tell you, Antakshari is essentially a musical relay race. The word itself gives you a clue, ant meaning the end and akshar meaning letter. So it's all about the ending letter. So basically the last letter of the previous song is the first letter of the next song. Here's how it typically works. Player 1 sings a song. When they finish, player 2 must begin a new song with the letter that ended the previous song. So if I sing, for example, मेरे सपनों की रानी कब आएगी तू. So the song ends with tu or oo. So the next person needs to start with a song beginning with a tu or an oo, like Unchi hai building lifted. Oh my God. Of course, there are much better songs to sing, but you get the gist. Sounds simple, right? Well, not when Chacha Sharma is desperately trying to remember a song starting with N or N, while everybody starts the dreaded countdown. Remember the dreaded countdown? Tick, tick, 1, tick, tick, 2, tick, tick, 3. It's nerve-wracking, my God. But unlike many Western games, the goal isn't really about winning. Though don't tell that to my competitive Jaya auntie who memorized the entire Lata Mangeshkar catalogue just to dominate at family gatherings. I believe now she's by-hearting the Arijit Singh catalogue too. But no, in spite of Jaya auntie's need to win, Antakshari is not really about competition. It's about collective entertainment, nostalgia and building connections through shared cultural knowledge. While Antakshari began as a humble pastime, it became a national sensation when it hit television screens in the early 90s.
ये है अंताक्षरी, close up अंताक्षरी, अंताक्षरी.
Close Up Antakshari, hosted by the legendary Anu Kapoor, wasn't just a show. It was a weekly festival.
Are you ready? Yes.
Kapoor's enthusiastic catchphrases were a rage. Families would gather around their television set every Friday night, dinner schedules adjusted accordingly. If you were around in the 90s, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The show was so successful that it ran for over 15 years with various incarnations and hosts.
जो कार्यक्रम आज से 12 साल पहले शुरू हुआ था दुर्गा जी के साथ, रेणुका, पल्लवी, शेफाली, रिचा, राजेश्वरी, सागरिका.
Think about it. That's longer than most marriages in Bollywood. Oops. Never mind. When Zee TV launched Saregama-Pa, another musical competition, households were divided like India-Pakistan cricket matches. My grandfather literally installed a second TV just to avoid conflict when the shows aired simultaneously. Now that's dedication to musical entertainment. Don't you agree? And what makes Antakshari truly special is its social magic. It's the ultimate icebreaker and generation bridger. Picture this, a typical Indian wedding. The bride side and groom side are awkwardly avoiding each other until someone suggests, Antakshari khele? Suddenly the groom's reserved uncle is enthusiastically performing Aajkal Tere Mere Pyar Ke Charche with full choreography. The same man who had barely said hello during introductions. I witnessed this transformation firsthand at my cousin Priya's wedding in Jaipur. Her in-laws seemed stiffer than starched shirts until the Antakshari battle began. By the end of the night, Priya's 80-year-old grandmother-in-law was teaching everyone the steps to Kajra Mohabbat Wala, the perfect icebreaker. Of course it is. Always. It never fails. Antakshari never fails at breaking the ice. And it's not just weddings, long power cuts in Delhi summers. Antakshari. 15-hour train journey to Chennai. Antakshari. School picnics. College festivals, office parties, all prime Antakshari territory. It's essentially the original social network connecting people long before Mark Zuckerberg was even born, by the way. But Antakshari isn't just entertainment. It's educational. Before Spotify and Shazam, it was how musical knowledge was preserved and passed down. My knowledge, for example, of the 1960s Hindi classics comes entirely from playing with my grandparents. When I belt out Mohammad Rafi's Gulabi Aankhein, my Gen Z friends look at me like I've summoned an ancient spirit. But that's how I learned those songs. Like India itself, Antakshari isn't monolithic. It has delightful regional variations. In Bengal, Antakshari. Forgive me, my Bengali friends, if I'm saying that wrong. So in Bengal is Antakshari. It might include Rabindra Sangeet alongside film songs. In Punjab, expect high energy Bhangra numbers that inevitably lead to impromptu dance performances. Kerala's version might include Malayalam film classics and folk songs. And in Tamil Nadu, the Ilaiyaraaja versus A.R. Rahman debate might break out mid-game with the passion usually reserved for political discussions. The rules vary too. In some households, film songs are the only acceptable currency. You can't sing any other songs. In others, folk songs, devotional songs, and even English songs make the cut. Try playing the Western pop version with your traditional grandmother, though, and watch her dramatic eye roll that could rival any Bollywood heroines. I mean, how can English songs be in an Antakshari? But frankly, they can. Speaking of rules, every family has that one Antakshari constitution expert, the Antakshari champion head. In my family, it's my Sridhar Mama. That song already came up 3 rounds ago. No, that doesn't count as the first word. I told him he should really consider a second career in musical jurisprudence. Forget banking. This is where his prowess is. In our era of AirPods and personalized playlists, is Antakshari losing its charm? The evidence suggests otherwise. The game has evolved for the digital generation. Virtual Antakshari rooms popped up during the pandemic lockdowns. Did you know that? Mobile apps now help settle disputes about lyrics, and influencers challenge each other to themed Antakshari battles on Instagram and YouTube. My niece recently told me about her college WhatsApp group's ongoing Antakshari game. They've been at it for 3 months with over 500 songs. What are the rules of this WhatsApp Antakshari? Songs must be sent as voice notes with a 30-minute deadline. Miss the deadline 3 times and you're out. They've created a spreadsheet tracking all used songs. Talk about commitment. Commitment to Antakshari. A game that will never die in India. The interesting part, these are the same young people who supposedly have attention spans shorter than goldfish. Let's not forget Bollywood's meta tribute to Antakshari. Iconic Antakshari scenes that are so quintessentially Indian that explaining them to non-Indians is like explaining cricket rules. Theoretically possible, but practically exhausting. Beyond the fun and games, Antakshari represents something deeper in Indian culture. Our relationship with music as a communal rather than individual experience. In a society where traditional joint families are increasingly giving way to nuclear ones, Antakshari remains one of those rare activities that still brings multiple generations together. It's perhaps one of the few contexts where a teenager might willingly listen to their grandparents' musical preferences and vice versa. It also reflects India's oral tradition, the passing down of cultural knowledge through performance rather than text. Before streaming services, this was how India's musical heritage stayed alive across generations. My friend, a music ethnographer, puts it beautifully. Antakshari is India's musical DNA being replicated in real time. Isn't that beautiful? There's something profound about how the game reflects Indian social values too. Unlike many Western games focused on individual victory, Antakshari's joy comes from keeping the song flowing. The collective experience matters more than personal triumph. Though again, don't tell that to my Jaya auntie. 20 years later, she still brings up the time she won 5 rounds in a row with songs beginning with M. Let it go. Let it go, Jayapini, let it go. But she's not having any of that. As to why I love Antakshari so much? Because in a world where everyone is looking at their phones, Antakshari makes people look at each other, sing to each other, connect with each other. That's the essence of this seemingly simple game. It creates connection. Whether you're bonding with strangers on a delayed train, breaking awkward silences at family gatherings, or passing musical heritage to the next generation, Antakshari weaves people together through melodies. So next time you find yourself in a room full of Indians with nothing to do, just confidently announce, "Baithe baithe kya kare, karna hai kuch kaam, शुरू करो अंताक्षरी लेकर प्रभु का नाम and watch the magic unfold. Just make sure you've got a few cue songs in your arsenal. You never know when you'll need them. You know when the previous song ends with ishq, so that ends with a cue. Remember that famous song that starts with a cue? What's a song that starts with a cue? Oh my god, I can't. Oh wait, I can't tell you. Yeah, that'll be cheating. You go figure it out for yourself the next time you're playing. Well, that was all about Antakshari. I will see you next week with some more music stories only on the Suchitra Krishnamoorthi show. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. See you same day, same time next week.
The music stories.